Hello everybody! Welcome back to Legacies of Caine! It's been a few weeks, I believe, 2 to be exact, but we are back for some more Vampire the Masquerade action. Of course, joining me today, as usual, is the CarpeDM as Nathan. I guess say hello.
Hello.
Okay, that worked. Jess, the Bubblegum Viking, as Dawn.
Hello, I'm an alpaca now.
Yes, you are an alpaca now, technically. A tiny alpaca in the middle of this, like kind of...
You're still hosting Lee for me, just...
You might have to refresh.
Yeah.
I have, twice. Oh, third time got it. Never mind, okay.
I love that. It was... I had the top screen on for long enough. It should have stopped it, and it still tries to do it.
Yeah.
And of course, Umber Skies as Leslie.
Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
He just disappears
already, huh?
into the ether.
Yep, disappearing into the shadow. Never to be seen again.
Last week was an interesting one. They managed to get into Chicago, where they met a very nice man in Chicago who was going to do very nice things with them, and we'll leave it at that.
Sure.
And made friends with Nathan. Good friends with Nathan.
Sure.
They all the while being accompanied by their good new friend, their actual friend, Ryan.
I don't know if I call him
Oh,
friend,
right.
but he's certainly an acquaintance.
Yeah.
An acquaintance.
A servitor, minion. Sure.
Oh, can we deck him out in techno skulls?
Yes.
I think that would be hilarious.
Anyway, they continued their trip back to New York, where they managed to settle back in for a while, and of course gained some information along the way. They were beginning to look for the various materials, information on perhaps finding the lost sword, which apparently has been acquired by the Kai Institute, as far as they know. Looking into these strange goblets, chalices. And of course, it ended up that they found out some information about Dawn's sire. And Dawn met her sire, and her sire is an awful being to be truly existing. But he taught her...
I thought he was pretty nice.
I mean, he did teach her how to be a time wizard. I mean, he taught her Temporis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a dick.
Because it turns out that Dawn's got some problems now, socially. Turns out she's not an actual normal Bruja, she's a true Bruja, who kind of have this entire, like, I hate you other side of the other Bruja clan, so it kind of is just, her non-existent Bruja friends might be very unhappy with her.
Also, she
Aw.
seemed to forget how to punch things.
Yeah, I did, apparently.
You did. You tried
You so hard in this game.
you tried so very hard to punch the crap out of that guy. Missed every time. It was perfect.
It was sad.
Revenge is sweet.
I'm gonna get him eventually.
You probably will. Anyway, so Dawn has just had an epiphany while her actual friends kind of watch on. So Dawn, now that you have this strange new energy surging through you, what's your plan?
Oh, crap.
You got your friends, like, standing behind you in this hotel room that you busted in through the door to see this guy.
We're just munching a bag of popcorn. Don't ask where we got it.
Mm-hmm. If I remember correctly, were we invisible or no? Or hidden
I
or what?
think you started out. I don't know if you uncloaked or not.
I think you might still be invisible, but, like...
I think you put... Yeah, because you, like, put your hand on my shoulder and then just picked up popcorn and it floated.
Yep. Yep, that was it.
And unfortunately, Leslie really couldn't be invisible in a well-lit room. It's kind of obvious, though, if he wanted to be clouded in shadows that someone couldn't actually see him, it would just be like, there's a mysterious pile of shadows in my room.
Yeah, I'm just, like, rolling a ball of shadow around in my hand still.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think to help out, huh?
Yeah, you seem to have everything perfectly under control.
Perfectly under control. Yep.
Wouldn't want to ruin your moment.
I think I ruined it.
It's okay, we all have those days.
So
Well.
I need to get...
It was a fun time, and I would love to teach you more, but I'm pretty sure you can figure it out from here on out. Let the flow of everything around you take you. Now, if you would, can I resume what I was doing? Pointing to the obviously horribly, like, people that he's been horribly murdering for food.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with this. You carry on. I'm good.
What exactly are you planning to do?
Clean things up.
Leslie's just gonna try and take a look and figure out if they're dead or not already.
One was dead, the other is sort of alive. Like, probably without severe medical attention, would be dead very shortly.
For the sake of the Masquerade, I think we'll be taking that one with us.
She's as good as gone right now, and I was going to dispose of them properly. Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, I'm going to search around for any evidence that any of the three of us were here, and make sure that that does not remain.
Okay. There really isn't anything. I mean, nothing that you would understand. We'll put it that way.
Sure. Not magical traces, just
Yeah.
the physical evidence
Yes.
to make sure that we're not somehow implicated in this particular brutal
Problem?
murder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I think she'd be better off with us.
Very well. Since you did interrupt my meal, I guess you can take care of both of them. It was a special night. I've got more business to attend to, and... Oh, I guess I should gain your, contact information. What did you say your name was? Dang?
You know what? That's fucking close enough.
Well then. Just because I probably should get in contact with you, especially when my superiors know of your existence.
Okay. I won't expect a phone call anytime soon, but, you know, here's my number.
Excellent. He'll share with you his number.
I'm gonna put it under douchebag, my phone.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna, like, clean himself off a little bit. He's going to gather, like, a small bag of things, kind of pick them up, kind of put them into this, like, briefcase, small bags worth of items, close it up, kind of pick it up, kind of brush himself off, and be like, well then! He's gonna, like, mention to the bodies, I leave it to you. Folks, have a good day. It seems like, my time here is at short, because, especially if you might be followed. Good luck to you. He'll kind of give a wry smile, and he'll just kind of push his way out.
Anything you touch while you are cloaked becomes cloaked as well, correct, Nathan?
With the exception of people, anything reasonably small that I can carry, yes.
I don't think that one is a person anymore.
I mean,
Worth
if
a
you tuck it
shot?
under your cloak, yeah, she's not hanging out that much.
Leslie's gonna go over and lick the wounds of the living one closed.
Yep. Seems like she's suffering from severe blood drain. She's at the point in time where without, like, even you need, like, emergency medical attention, like, right now.
Alright, well, he's gonna pull out his phone, look up the nearest hospital.
Okay.
And...
Actually, no. Upon success, vampire, all of his clothing and objects that could fit into a pocket are concealed.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Unless you could somehow fit her into one of your pockets. Let's get
Could
in
you
there.
wear her like a scarf, because that's clothing. Just wrap her around, you know?
How light is it outside of this? Are we in a hotel, or is this a motel with, like, doors to the outside?
I'd say it's more motel.
Motel. Okay, how bright is it outside?
A decent amount. Usually they got a lot of lights outside of the motel. It's like one of those ones that has like almost like a U shape, so it's kind of like surrounded on three sides. You drive into like a parking lot in the middle, and it's got 2 floors on either. It probably has like a seedy looking pool at like the back of like right next to like where the parking lot kind of ends. So like.
Ugh.
The people that are on the far end of the or the bottom of the U are right in front of that pool.
Does anyone have a pair of gloves?
I am, of course, wearing my gloves. However, Leslie, I believe a much better solution to this problem would be, or at least less difficult for us to deal with, would be to indicate somehow that this particular person who is mostly bled out also killed this person who is bled out.
Life in jail does not seem fair given what she's already experienced.
What about we make it look like a suicide pact? So then technically, she didn't murder her. You know, we'll put them in the bathtub, we'll like, you know, slit the wrists a little so it's all essentially look like it's drained away. There you go. If not, I was gonna suggest we chuck the dead one in the pool and say she drowned.
Usually the lack of blood would give the lie to that, but
Yeah.
I do approve of your double suicide attempt.
Fair. Alright, we'll throw the dead one in the tub with deeper cuts on the wrists. The still living one with rather light ones. Make it look like she just didn't get deep enough, I guess. Call a hospital, call police, get them to the location.
Okay, I'm just gonna like leave the door like busted open.
Yeah.
Sure. There's no I'll go outside, take a look, see if there's any cameras around that would have noticed us coming in.
Okay.
Well, what I can do is just make a call and someone can happen in on them.
Well, that's true. Okay, so you're gonna like try to like get them to have someone show up, kind of thing.
Yeah, one of my various underlings.
Okay. That's surprisingly accurate. Fix. It took 2,000 to gang back together. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is exactly what the gang does.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Alright,
Yeah.
once
Is
you've
this
done that-
acceptable?
You throw
Leslie?
Yeah. You kind of like.
Indeed.
Someone please roll me just a like intelligence medicine to like cut them in such a way that like either A looks very suicide-y or at least, you know, looks very suicide attempty kind of thing.
Actually, it's not Dawn, because that's gonna go very badly. Intelligence of 2 and no medicine.
I can't remember. Do you have Ryan with you?
We do. Well, no,
Okay.
he's in the car.
Oh,
He's in the car.
He's in the car.
He's
That's right.
driving,
That's right. I forgot you left him in the car. I had to remember him.
We leave him in the car a lot. We look out
Yeah.
the window. We don't, and we leave the radio on so he stays calm.
It's
But
for the best. I'd rather think that if he came across a corpse and a near corpse, he'd probably shit himself once again.
oh, I don't want to get with that.
And I don't have a spare pair of pants for him.
All right, I'm not particularly good at medicine.
I got 2 intelligence, 0 medicine, so.
All right,
Yep,
I
you
guess,
win.
Yeah,
I guess it's me.
You win.
This is yours to botch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's done it.
All right.
He's
Yeah.
done it.
You do well. You actually accurately like do some cuts, make it look very much so like you know. Now there's only one question, like even after all like the medical and the cutting, you know, because you're cutting the girl, then she doesn't have a lot of blood left to bleed. There isn't a lot of blood in the tub either.
And the shower room.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Looks like it's
Warm water.
Yeah, warm
There we
water,
go.
just washing everything out. Okay.
Wow, Dawn is very good at hiding murder.
It's just like
I mean,
I've developed.
she has to be, doesn't she?
At this point, yes. After she started hanging out with you guys, she started picking up tips.
Okay. You kind of set everything up. You give the call to the hospital, and you head out. Are you kind of waiting around to see the results?
Oh,
Or are
no,
you
no, no, no,
leaving?
no. I'm not giving the call to the hospital.
Okay.
I'm calling one of my people
Mhm.
and saying, I need someone to go and discover a problem that has occurred.
Uh-huh.
I heard a commotion in a motel room near mine. Perhaps you should investigate it. And they're going to go in, check it out, and make the call.
Okay. Gotcha.
And as we leave, Leslie's just gonna shadow play, cover the lights so that we're not seen leaving.
Okay.
Spend a blip point, and we can take off, I guess.
You know, you get down to the car where the window's kind of open. Oh, hey guys, how's it going?
Wonderful, Ryan. Thank you for asking.
You took care of everything you needed?
I believe so, yes.
There was this nice man that came out of the room you left. He had this briefcase. He asked me for some directions, and I was unfortunately unable to help him.
Where was he going?
Someplace, oh god. Oh, I'm on a spot now. It had a funny
Ryan,
name
this
to
was minutes ago.
it. Look, I was rocking out, man.
So a stranger walks up to you, and you don't remember the stranger talking?
Well, he just said, do you have any familiarity in the area, and a little bit, in, Brooklyn? And I was like, no, I haven't been to Brooklyn before. Or was I to Brooklyn? Were we in Brooklyn before?
No, we've not been in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay, then I was correct. I thought I hadn't been there, but I am not familiar with the city yet, you know? Only been here a little while. Mostly hanging out with Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, let's just pile in and leave.
I'd really like to go some tour from some places in the city, but guys keep telling me I probably shouldn't go. The entire, you know, probably going to soil myself. And the Great Cockroach has been agreeing with me.
We'll
With
get
you
some-
or with us?
You?
We'll get you some adult diapers at some point, and then we'll go trip around the city.
Oh,
Wait
that'll
till
be
Vapor
good.
Ride, though. Yeah.
He'll start, like,
Mhm.
driving away, then.
Perhaps we can get him some, like, medicine.
You mean chloroform, or?
I'm very highly resistant to any kind of drugs. It's one of those unfortunate things about being a gigantic cockroach monster.
Mm-hmm.
I tried medication when we first escaped from the whole entire horrible laboratory which created us. Turns out, I highly resist it.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Alrighty.
Well, where are we off to then?
Oh,
Um,
I was just driving back us home, unless there's another place you guys want to go.
Yes, I was speaking to Nathan and Dawn.
Oh, okay,
But
yes.
thank you, Ryan. Continue driving us home.
He's gonna continue rocking it out, just ignoring everything.
Do, 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 do.
Well, let's see. We do need to find Francisco Domingo de Paulina. I don't have any connections in the Sabbat, so I will have some amount of difficulty finding him. Although we might be able to get help from Federico de Padua.
Indeed. I'm uncomfortable with this.
Would it be worth going to Samuel's place and seeing if he has any, like, contact information anywhere there? I mean, it's gonna be locked away, and I don't know if we're gonna be able to get into it, but
Does anyone know his specific locale? I know it's in the sewers, but I can't say I'm familiar with
Well,
the
we
New York sewer system.
we do know his neighbor.
They don't like each other, though, right?
No, but if we find his neighbor, we might be able to find Samuel's location. Or Samuel's... Or we could also just go off and see if we could find, or see if anyone's gotten any information on Samuel in the first place, because if we have Samuel, we do not need to find his home.
We should have given that rat a phone.
We wouldn't be able to understand it.
Someone would. We could find someone.
I suppose it could. It's smart enough to text, maybe. Do you think the fingerprint thing would pick up its paws?
Honestly, probably.
No idea.
Well, whatever the plan, if we are to meet with Sabat, I'd prefer to avoid revealing my own heritage.
It's a good idea.
I'd rather not have a bunch of hunters on my trail again.
Yes, I can agree with that, although I don't particularly relish meeting with Sabat, as they will be trying to kill me, generally.
Ah, you've had your own run-ins with them.
Not so much directly, but they're aware of my organization.
For the best for both of us, then, to avoid them.
Well, except that that's where the cup seems to be.
Indeed, that is the problem.
Yep.
Frankly, I have no idea.
Mm-hmm. Well, then I suppose home it is.
Okay. So you head back to, I guess, your place, Nathan, and then what's the plan from here on out?
I suppose we wait until we hear back from... Let's see.
We had contacts looking into the Federico de Plabla Bidibida, his location, right?
We had contacts looking into Francisco Domingo, the Sabat. Federico de Padua was the right hand of the Camilla, who failed to protect Michaela, who owned the cup in the first place.
Right.
We had our good old friend Cromwell hunting for information on Pentex and the Kai Institute, trying to locate Samuel.
Yeah, I guess we're just stuck waiting for information.
Okay. It'll be a little while before you get a like a couple days before you get any kind of real contact, but you'll get a contact that there is unfortunately no easy way to find Federico. With his current status, in the within the Camarilla, he's kind of put himself into an isolation, just because of what had happened before. But you do learn that there might be a way to actually find him in his isolation. He's probably gone to some kind of training, as far as you know. It seems like he is headed up to a little bit into somewhere in Maine, as far as you've heard. That's at least the rumor.
But nothing solid or...
No, that was the last point that he was seen. Or basically that's where he was known to have been seen at.
And how long ago was this?
Actually about a month ago.
Rather cold trail.
Yes.
As for Mr. de Polonia, he's been basically, since he's the Cardinal of the Eastern Territories, he's kind of been all around in the East, as far as you know. You're not sure exactly where he is, but it's with Atlanta and DC basically being currently under like Sabbat control, it's figured that he's probably in one of those major cities currently.
Okay.
Then again, we don't really need to find him. We need to find where he may be keeping the chalice.
Correct.
Now, you did hear that there was a good chance he didn't take it out of New York.
Mm-hmm.
But where he would have put it, that's hard to say. The Sabbat in New York is quite underground. Very few times do they rear their heads. Most of the time it's to do something awful to the Camarilla. And then disappear again. Since they've been decently wiped out.
The prince had a group of vampires looking for Sabbat people, didn't she?
Yes. The sheriff is always on the lookout, but there are specifically vampires assigned to monitor the situation with the Sabbat, just because of the past encounters within New York and the battles that had been waged here in the city.
Perhaps we can get in contact with them, see if they've heard of any Sabbat activity. At least find us a location where they may be based, where we can find information. Would require taking on Sabbat, clearly, but...
I am not entirely opposed to this.
We are rather short on options.
Okay.
Short on immediate options, anyway.
So I guess you're going to contact your Helena and try to figure out, like, who to discuss what's, where to look kind of things.
Yeah. But, I mean, our alternative is scouring Maine and D.C., so...
Or Atlanta.
Or Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, you can get in contact with a man who goes by the nickname of just Jimmy. He doesn't give you his last name. He doesn't give you any information, but he's basically the information gatherer of the team. So it's another Nosferatu. He's like, look, I know you know some of our people here, so I can give you some connections. I can get you in contact with some of the other members of the search team, but we usually keep ourselves a little on the down low, DL, just because of situations here. Until the big guns that needed to be brought in, like the sheriff and all. I'm here because, information is key.
Makes sense.
If you look
It's also a lot easier to find information when things are quiet than when they're more paranoid.
Exactly. That's why the boss lady put me in charge of making sure the information gets to the right places at the right times. And of course, you need some information because it looks like you're scouring for something that they did. She tells me that you need some help with that. Now, last time we saw some Sabbat, it actually was down in Staten Island, off of the main city. It was kind of strange. They were doing some stuff down there, broke into a couple of warehouses. They did leave some calling cards that were obviously Sabbat.
Oh?
Basically, some things occurred, some presents were left behind, stuff like that. Some very activity that seemed not human in nature in the break-in. Now, I gotta say, didn't seem like they took anything really critical. But we try to investigate as best we can. Both warehouses they broke into were shell companies to, no major corporations in the area. We couldn't find the direct ties of who owned them. But they did take something from them, and we're not sure what. Since then, things have been quiet. That was about 3 months ago. We know that they're occasionally trying to stir up some things with the local anarchs, but you never know when they're going to show up, and usually it's spread out. And normally it's not like recruiting for the Sabbat. It's normally just trying to get them pissed off and get into fights. If you want to know more about the stuff with the Anarchs, I can get in contact with one of our others in our team, Tony. But, he looks into more of those with the Anarchs. He's got some connections to them. If you're looking for the Staten Island, I can give you the addresses of the warehouses. But again, we looked into those shell companies. The paper trail stopped pretty well. Once the, whatever happened there happened, things got cleaned up very quickly. Even one such as skilled as myself, or some of my associates, were not able to find the exact details about who actually owned these.
And so you're saying the Sabbat went and robbed the warehouses?
Yes.
But nothing critical was taken?
As far as we know, but we don't know what was all stored in there. The one warehouse was apparently storing auto parts, and the other one, strangest thing, grain.
Grain?
Grain. It was only there for a temporary point of time. Apparently they were having shipments of grain coming in and out. And they were two separate shell companies that both disappeared in the exact same manner.
Auto parts and grain.
Can't say I see the connection between them.
Exactly. If it wasn't for some of the strange damage to the structure of the building, we probably wouldn't have been even on the case that it was something supernatural doing it. It took some of our best readers to figure out that it was, well, the Sabbat that was behind it.
Damage such as what?
Doors bent in ways that you should not normally bend doors.
And the warehouses weren't ours, correct?
No.
Did they have any ties to the supernatural?
I can't say for sure, actually. If it was like, I can say it's not one of ours as in the
Camarilla.
Yeah. But it could have been one of our kinds. That's for sure. I couldn't tell you if it wasn't or not.
Okay. All right.
Well,
thank you very kindly, Jimmy.
Of course, of course.
Could we get those addresses just in case?
Sure. He'll send like a text to you. And if you need anything else about the Sabbat in New York, just let me know. Or if you find anything else, please let me know. If you're looking into some kind of investigation, I would love to get some more information and get rid of those rat bastards.
Indeed. And should you hear anything about their movements, perhaps you could let us know as well.
Roger.
Thank you, Jimmy.
And if you'd like to visit a gym sometime.
Now, there was something else there that I heard about, a rumor that I might be able to help you with. Just a side thing. I heard you're looking for, Freddy Boy.
Yes.
Yeah. Freddy Boy. He gave me some pointers back in the day. One of the reasons that I'm on this job. He, guess you could say he's the sire of my sire.
We could say that, I suppose.
I guess that would be accurate. But anyway. He always said he always said that he liked to have some reflection on himself. He hasn't been around for a while, and I figured he went out to it. Have you heard where he might have gone to? Well, I would start looking for probably parks, national variety or statewide variety, for some place that has long-term cabin rental. Probably will be staying there. He's being all like old Italian and all, and old European. He's got a big he's still got some of that religious stuff to him, so he's a lot of that self-reflection. So if you're looking for him, you might want to start there. Just a little help.
Appreciated.
Oh, yeah. He'll
All
hang up
right.
then.
Well then, warehouses?
So more dead leads. We could take a look, I suppose.
I figure they are more convenient than Maine,
Indeed.
or at least more immediate.
I don't know what we could find that they didn't, but if nothing else, it's worth a shot. We're scrabbling in the dark here.
Well, we do live at night, so yes.
A fair point.
Okay. So we're gonna head to the warehouse.
Perhaps we'll get lucky and there'll be a trap.
Perhaps.
Some combat would be nice.
You guys just want to fight some Sabat, don't you?
Kinda.
Yeah,
Dawn is ready to fight. She's like,
See,
I'm gonna fuck it up again.
Leslie's told her that he wants to fight Sabat, but at the same time, he doesn't want them to know he's
What he is?
exactly.
That he's in town.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That
all right.
he exists in the first place.
Well then,
Because you
don't
would be at the
use-
top of their murder list.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well then,
and
don't
every-
use your shadows.
And every Sabat agent in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, the shadows are like my primary. I'd assume the Camarilla has contacts that would be able to source weapons. Yeah.
We have Lars.
Yeah, Lars.
Yeah.
With your weapons contact.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna have to contact him then. I'm just taking a look at the weapons table to see what there is available.
Oh, that's right. You weren't there for our shopping spree. were you?
Indeed.
We bought a rat a car.
We did.
It was great.
You bought a car from a firearms salesman.
Yes.
Well, I mean, he's more than just firearms.
Does he sell armor as well?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then yeah, before we get into anything that might involve conflict with Sabat, I'm gonna have to contact him and see about sourcing some armor and a larger weapon. Than my
I don't
pistol.
think he can help with that.
No.
A larger weapon.
He's on about your penis.
Well played, Nathan. Moving on. Would he perhaps be able to source, say, an assault rifle?
I would imagine so.
Probably.
All right, then yeah, I'm gonna get in contact with him, see about getting a.
Sure.
The only one I'd see listed in the books is a scar, which works. About a scar and perhaps some body armor.
Okay. Yes, I can get you some things. I can have the boss prepare some things. You're friends with Nathan, right? Yes.
That's Rattay.
Sorry, who is that?
Ratty.
I'm Rate. I work for Lars.
I'm gonna just talking to Nathan and Don. Who the hell is Rattay?
Lars' assistant.
Don't let him sell you the tank.
You have a tank.
I said don't let him sell you it. Ask him about it, he'll sell it to you.
Oh, I mean, that's not like if I say yes.
You will.
It is tempting. It is a tank. What kind
I
of
was
tank is this,
tempted.
Rattay?
Oh, like 1970s refurbished. Not like super classic, not like World War II, but still classic.
Okay, Cold War era tank. I'm familiar. European or American?
We're in America. Where do you think we're gonna get surplus? Those Soviets have some good surplus too.
They do have much in the way of surplus. But no, perhaps not a tank for today. Just a rifle and some body armor would be plenty.
I will sell this tank eventually.
You may just sell it to me one day.
Excellent.
Then yeah, I'll just pick up. I don't see the body armor anywhere, but so I'm gonna leave
It's
that up to
under
you
armor
for-
chart. There's
It is
class
directly
1.
above.
Mhm.
I am dumb. Tantus, what kind of armor could I pick up that wouldn't hinder stealthy stuff? Would that just be the reinforced clothing?
Just the reinforced clothing, basically. Everything beyond that starts to hinder your ability to do very Dexy-based things,
Okay.
which is a lot.
All right, then yeah, I'll just pick up some reinforced clothing and a rifle. Scar.
I would also like to pick up a Kevlar vest.
Okay. All right. You'll arrange for them to come in. It'll be a couple of days, but you'll be able to get them. What's your plan
Sweet.
then?
I guess we head down to these warehouses.
All right. Which one are you going to first?
Dom, that's up to you.
Yep.
Option B.
That'd probably be auto parts then.
There we go then.
Okay. So you arrive at the auto parts warehouse, only to find a burned out husk.
Recently burned out husk?
It looks as it's hard to tell how recent.
Like, within the last few days, within the last few weeks, or within, like, the last few months?
I'd say probably weeks at this point in time. Looks like no one's
Okay.
cleaned it up yet.
So,
Jimmy's
not
information.
since yesterday, or
Not
2
since-
days ago
Not
when...
since 2 days ago when Jimmy contacted you.
Got it.
But you
So
again,
he
he hasn't been to the warehouse in months probably, or you don't know how long.
Frick.
Alright. Well... I'm
Do a
going to
quick-
get out and start wandering around and looking,
Yeah, I'll do a quick investigation.
and pull out a little, like, notepad and take notes.
Okay. It looks as though, like, when you look through it, it definitely looks like a burned down building. But the thing is, you also don't see any signs of anything that would have been in there. Like,
So it was cleaned out and burned down.
yes.
Which warehouse was this? Was this the auto parts or
These are the auto
grain?
parts.
Hmm.
Can I do a, I don't know, perception investigation, and try and figure out how long ago this burnt down?
Sure.
All right.
Give me difficulty 8, because this is a little harder to tell with the ruins. Like to give a exact timing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to tell. You take a good look at it. Unfortunately, it looks like the damage isn't like super recent, but how far long ago? That's beyond you.
You
Unless
said
you...
intelligence investigation?
Sure.
Difficulty 8?
Yes. All right.
Okay.
Nathan, you definitely like take a
Jeez.
look, knowing like a little bit about like some experience with fires that may perhaps have started on not accidental means before. You do notice that
I guess there are some fires that I've started.
possibly directly, possibly indirectly. We're not going to say right now. But you kind of take a look around and then like get a good investigation of everything, and like spending like a good like 30 minutes, kind of like looking around. You get the sense that definitely, the fire patterns are different than what you'd expect. You're not like an expert in arson cases, to be sure. But you're
No.
a little bit of information and probably a little bit of studying you might have done back when you were going to be posing as the fire officers. Just some reading up on some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. you remembered some of the things, like some of the things you read up. You might have even like watched a couple of programs on like firemen or something, something like that. Like one of those. I'm sure there's
a CBS special.
Yeah, like CBS special or like something on like one of those like Discovery Channel or something, or I guess it would be TLC for people or something.
Sure.
Anyway, you get the feeling that like it doesn't seem to be coming from anywhere where you're seeing signs of electrical outlets or anything like that, and you can kind of get a sense of like, though it's very faded, you do get in like some of the more like hidden from weather areas, like moving something out of the way, there's still a little bit of smell of what smells kind of like maybe gasoline, but it's very, very faint. You would estimate that probably this is maybe like a week, maybe 2 weeks at most old, but you're not sure exactly how long.
Interesting. All right. Shall we continue to the next?
Indeed.
All right. The grain warehouse.
Okay. The grain warehouse.
On the way over, we're like, Dawn, I'm very disappointed.
It could be very important, and we don't know about it yet.
Mm-hmm.
It still could have been the right one.
It's true.
The grain warehouse is intact.
Shit.
The doors are sealed up, locked. The building just is quiet, though. There are no lights, no nothing. Just quiet. There's some nearby lights on like the streets nearby. You're like in an area of like some warehouses, and like more industrial section of the city.
I'm gonna have Ryan, instead of stopping near this one, just drive by it and park somewhere near, but not like right by this one.
Okay, you can do so.
And then I'm gonna leave the rifle in the car, and I'm gonna go out first and take a look around for any cameras.
All right. Give me a perception security then. All right. Yeah. You'll notice that none of the other warehouses seem to have any kind of security, but the grain warehouse does seem to have 2 security cameras. One in the front towards like the main doors where stuff would have, like the large like shipping doors.
Yeah. Shipping doors even.
A small, almost hidden camera in the back that was very hard to see because it was kind of it was slightly disguised. It wasn't like, disguised so much that you couldn't find it, but it was disguised enough that your probably average person wouldn't notice it. Yeah.
Can I tell what it's watching?
The back door. Like the person entrance.
Okay.
It's hard to tell if they are on or not. I will say that.
Yeah. Better to play it as if they are. At least they can't see me. Alright, I'll head back to the car and tell the others about that.
Sounds good.
Do you want me to try getting in by myself? Take a quick look around at least.
Are there windows or anything that are not monitored by camera?
It does have some like windows up at the tops along the side. And
ground level, I assume.
It definitely not ground level. So they're kind of like towards the top, so they get some like light in it. Or it's like most warehouses. It's technically like a 2nd-story building. 2 stories. Probably either has an office on the ground floor or maybe like some kind of catwalks with the office. It's hard to tell depending on how they stored it up. You haven't seen inside. The windows, they look like they could be big enough for someone to squeeze into. They don't look like they're made to be opened though. And you didn't notice any other security, but that doesn't mean there isn't any other type of security on the building.
Does your obfuscation hide you from cameras, or is it only from the naked eye?
I believe it is the naked eye.
What about people wearing glasses? They can just see you.
That'd be interesting.
I believe what happens is it makes it so that others do not notice me.
Okay, so like their
Rather
eyes
than
see you,
that I'm
but their
invisible.
brain doesn't detect that you're there.
Correct. So I believe... I'm checking to see if it says specifically.
Yeah, it's more like a mental invisibility.
Yeah. Yes.
Do we reckon there's cameras inside as well?
Given the two on the outside, I wouldn't put it past them.
Although I suppose I could just pretend I was someone else. I could just look like someone else.
If one of us can get in and turn off the cameras, if not, I can always use an illusion on the cameras outside, but then I'm gonna have to do it again on the ones on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
We won't know till we walk in there if there's, any cameras.
Well, stealth is my specialty.
That's true.
And at least I have no concern of cameras.
I mean,
That
It struck
is
me as a
very
rather odd weakness of our clan. More of an advantage, really. In this day and age.
oh, yeah, the entire, I noticed that entire thing where I can't see you in a mirror. It's creepy. I think it's a disadvantage because it tells people you're all like, grr, supernatural, like me, and the entire, horrible things that I do.
See, that's why I just don't go near mirrors, Ryan.
Ooh, maybe I could help out, though.
Oh?
Well, this'll take a minute. He's gonna get outside the car. He's gonna be like, okay now. I should take these off. He's like strips down. He like gets naked.
Ryan, what are you doing? This is not...
Dawn knows what's happening and she looks the fuck away. She's like, nope, not looking at this again.
I think they will be more
He
suspicious
just
of a naked
transforms
man.
into a gigantic roach monster.
And you've done that. Alright then. Ryan...
As it's kind of like chittering, kind of like horrible noises. Give me a second. As he kind of like lifts up his like wings and stuff, and you just see like roaches just kind of fall down from there. Just just dozens and dozens of them. As then he goes.
You are truly disturbing, you know that.
Yes! As you see then, like, the roaches move off over to the warehouse.
Dawn is hidden in the car, hands over her ears, rocking back and forth, her eyes closed a little. She's like, nope.
I can have them see things for me.
That's fantastic. Let's make a note to get a... We should get a VW bug.
Ryan, I appreciate the taking of the incentive, but perhaps when you're going to do that, for the sake of our friend here, a little warning would be nice.
Took off my clothes.
Yes, you did.
That's true. What did you think he was going to do?
It's more, a plan. It helps to come up with a plan ahead of time rather than sudden cockroaches. How many cockroaches did you just send into that warehouse?
I don't know. They keep falling from me. As more just keep falling from him.
Oh my god.
It's each turn, dozens of cockroach fall from him. They just keep happening.
Yes.
I am very glad that I was raised in a time when this was not entirely unusual. Well, what have they told you?
Indeed.
Ryan?
What do your cockroach eyes see?
It's empty in there.
Pardon me?
Completely empty?
No boxes.
Inner boxes?
They're
Come here a second. As he
There's
kind of like,
people in the
there's that
boxes?
horrible kind of like cracking and snapping that he reverts back to being like human again. Oh, here we go. Yep, I'm just going to move away from this mess. Oh, thank you, buddies. Please just scurry away now. Oh, so I learned that it turns out there are no boxes in there. It looks like the place is pretty empty. Other than that, they didn't see any cameras, but I don't know if they really know what a camera is per se. Nothing looks on the front.
Did they see any movement?
Oh no, it was quite quiet. Not even a speck of grain. I don't even know if there was actually grain in there.
Ryan, you can fly, correct?
Oh, I could make myself fly.
I don't think that would be a good idea to have happen in the middle of Staten Island.
It's the middle of the night.
Even in the middle of the night.
Ryan, how much can you carry?
I'm pretty powerful when I'm a giant, horrific cockroach monster.
The answer is no. Leslie, the answer is no.
Look, we need to know what is in there.
Fine. I'm gonna
And
go.
perhaps through the eyes
I
of
could also
something
just,
not a
like, walk up
cockroach.
the wall, too.
Oh, no.
No, please. That's... Look, the idea here. It is the middle of the night. There's not much light around. And in shadow, have flown me up to the roof and look into the windows from there. It's a little easier to see than... Well, easier for me to tell what I'm seeing than cockroaches interpreted through the mind of our good mad friend here.
That's fair.
What say you, Ryan?
Oh, sure. Yes. Sorry.
He's just busy staring at his cockroach friends.
He's just, like, watching them out there, like, as they're, like, scurrying around.
Alright, Don, look away.
I'm gonna go hide in the car.
God, I can't believe I don't want to do this. This is...
All right. Put an illusion on the cameras, but okay. Go fly with the cockroach, you weirdo.
It once again transform into a giant, horrific cockroach monster with the same kind of... It's a horrible snapping and cracking and popping noise, you know, that happens as, like, his limbs change into, like, insectile limbs. It's unpleasant. It's unpleasant every time.
Leslie's undead skin is crawling.
I have prevented the cockroaches from falling from me!
Ryan, please no more talking for a while. Just... you can nod your head, right? Okay. Leslie is going to cloak the two of them in shadow, but leave Ryan's eyes uncovered so he can see where we're going. I'm just going to tell him to fly me up to the roof, drop me near a window.
Perhaps you should just stay on the cockroach and look in through the window.
Okay.
Fair enough.
That way he doesn't have to land with a shadow either around him or you.
You see that, like, of his, like, four arms, the two lower ones kind of grab around your waist, as the two upper ones, you know, like, also, like, kind of put it on your shoulders. As, like, the wings begin to, like, flutter, as it begins to move with this kind of, like, it's, like, weird, like, humming noise. So it's like that, you know, like you get from, like, a bug, that you can kind of hear it doing the wings.
Well, except that Dawn and I can't hear it, because it's in shadow.
Yeah, the wings are covered in shadow, thankfully.
Yes.
Thank God.
But I can hear it. Yay!
It is very loud, and it is very creepy.
You know,
Alright, Dawn, are you okay?
As, like, parts of his head are, like, sticking out. You're kind of like... So you're moving, are you having to go to the roof or one of the windows?
How close to the roof are the windows?
Like, right below the edge of it. It's like one of those, curved roofs. So, like, right below the lip of it is where you get to the windows by, like, a foot and a half down.
Alright, so I could theoretically peer over the edge and into the windows.
Yes.
Alright, then... Yeah, I feel like the hovering... It's easier to hide a cockroach covered in shadow on the top of the roof. So, I'm going to have him fly me straight up, away from the streetlights.
Okay.
Over onto the roof, and just lightly put me on the roof.
Please give me a perception. I'm gonna get it wrong. Awareness.
Alertness.
Damn it!
I mean, you admitted it was gonna be wrong, so
I
Yeah.
should
you
check.
covered yourself.
I should
Always
check.
just go for your second option.
I really should, but I always go for the first option every time. I'm like, it's gotta be.
Jesus!
All right.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Too distracted by the cockroach to notice anything.
Give me a second. I'm gonna check something here. I'm just gonna roll like 4 dice. We'll say. There might be more. There might be less. I haven't finished drawing this. Oh, okay. Oh, I think there's a problem.
And what is that, Ryan?
Oh, I heard some screaming from down there. Sounds like
You're-
what normally happens when someone sees me.
You're covered in shadow.
You kept my head outside there so I could see, my eyes and stuff. So maybe
It's the middle of the night!
It's like half moon, so it's pretty bright out.
This is also New York. No one ever sleeps.
Yeah.
That's fine, ignore it. They'll think it's a hallucination.
All
They're
right.
probably high on something. It's New York.
That's true.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
All right.
Just get me to the roof, please.
You're on the roof. Why don't we
Good.
take our first break here, though, as you've arrived on the roof, with a giant shadowy covered cockroach with just part of its head sticking out of the shadows. So if anybody would actually see it, it would just be like a head floating in the sky.
Oh, that's terrifying.
It's like a horrible insectile, like, monster head floating in the sky.
Oh, love it.
Yup, that's probably what someone saw. And just pooped themselves and ran. Anyway. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. If you need to use the bathroom, drink, snack, anything like that, go ahead and do it, and we'll get back to the adventures of Leslie and Ryan on a roof of a warehouse.
Hopefully rather short adventures.
Uh-huh.